I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
All right, dudes, dudettes. Again, we're at Wild Florida, and then we got, we don't have to say it anymore. They're all injured. All right, so we're coming in. You can come in too. Check yourself out. I'm gonna have Andrew do his thing real quick, and then I'm gonna explain what we got going on. Yeah. So, interestingly enough, this is an American alligator. And these two American alligators are obviously albino American alligators. And albinism is a genetic mutation. It does happen naturally, it occurs in the wild. Usually when it occurs in the wild, chances, they're not gonna survive in the wild. Why? Because when these guys are born as babies, when you see a big alligator, you see a big dark black alligator. When you see a small alligator, they pop out and they have yellow stripes. They're very bright, vibrant yellow stripes. So it's black and yellow, black and yellow. And the reason for that is camouflage. So when they're born as babies, they need the protection. So they have mom to protect them, but they also have the patterning, which helps them camouflage to their area. And then when they get bigger, they start to tan out from the sun. The colors go away. Some stay a little lighter, some go a little darker, but generally that pattern goes away. Obviously, because when they're bigger, they need less protection. These are the top predator here in Florida. So it's the largest native reptile species that we have here, aside from the crocodiles way down south. But these guys are the top predator here in Florida. So once they get bigger, they need a little less protection. Obviously, the biggest thing for them as far as a predator would be us as human beings. Now with albinism, albinism is very simple. It's just, it's the lack of melanin in the skin. Melanin, that's what's creating the black color on these animals. So lack of melanin, albinism, same thing, you could say it either way. But with the albinism, it's a recessive trait. And now we're gonna get into biology for a second. So recessive trait, the easiest way for me to explain this is this, is I don't have blue eyes. How can we explain this? You have blue eyes.
Green eyes.
Do you? Let me see that again. Liar, he's got blue eyes. All right, so regardless, blue eyes is a recessive trait. Albinism is a recessive trait. So I could have the color eyes that I have, and if my mom has blue eyes, and then I'm with somebody like my woman, like we have a kid, we have, so Brooke has brown eyes, I have, what fucking color are my eyes?
Green.
They're green-ish, whatever. So I got shit green eyes. Brooke's got shit brown eyes. Yeah, I got puke green. Brooke's got shit brown, and then we have Michaela with beautiful blue eyes. The reason is that because her father has blue eyes, my mother has blue eyes. So we both carry the trait for blue eyes. So we're both het for blue eyes. These guys are albino. So we have two albinos in here. That means if you put these two together and they have babies, which they had, it's actually the only place in America that's ever reproduced albino alligators.
That's not true.
I'm kidding. I'm doing that to razz some people up. So we've had very few people have been able to reproduce the albino alligators. Usually these come from farms. They pick these guys out, but these guys have actually reproduced. And I think there's only been what, like 3?
Yeah.
I think 3 pairs have actually reproduced. And the reason being is because we're not sure what happens as far as the genetics go. So usually we have a lot that lay eggs. There's a lot of albino alligators out there. A lot of them lay eggs, but the eggs seem to be not fertile or go bad throughout the period of incubation. Now they've been able to hatch some over here at Wild Florida, and if you put two albinos together, because it's a recessive trait, you're gonna get all albino alligators. But if I had a regular alligator in here and I put him with her, they're gonna produce babies, and all those babies are gonna look normal. But if you took that baby and you wanted to do type stuff, I shouldn't say that, I'll get in trouble for that, but if you wanted to do some stuff like that and get incestual, you could put dad with one of the babies, and if you put dad with one of those babies, since they're het for that, they're gonna produce a certain amount of eggs that come out albino. Not every baby would be albino as if you put these two together, because every baby is gonna be albino with two albinos. But if you put one with a het, meaning the parent carries the genetic, and then that goes down to the next generation, and then you put that generation back on this one, then you're going to end up reproducing the albino gene, but not every single one of them is going to have the albino showing. So you're not going to have a visual in every single egg. You'll pop out a quarter of those eggs will be albino, the rest of them will carry the genetic to be albino. Alright, now that I've got through a bunch of boring biology stuff, let's play with some alligators over here. What's his name?
Blizzard.
So we got Blizzard and
Snowflake.
I knew it was going to be Snowy or Snowflake or something like that. It was so original.
Well, we didn't have it, we had a contest.
Oh, we had a contest?
So we've been doing some stuff with him actually. So we actually have an albino encounter. The guests can come in, they can call him around and feed him the crock chow and participate in the training. But what we're doing with him is a lot of desensitization too, just like we do with a lot of the other ones. But we've been working on desensitizing his tail and all that stuff. So we can kind of do some of that right now too with him. So he's conditioned to go into this cove and do it.
All right, so let's do some of that. Do it up. Which one of you guys are gonna do it?
Looks like Peter Marty.
Peter Pumpkin Eater, let's do it.
Blizzard! So with albinos too, you know, they're pretty much blind. Blizzard! Blizzard!
He's like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Blizzard! So we work on just vocalized, vocal training, because he can't see. Blizzard, come on. Come on. Blizzard, here. Blizzard, here. So we do this training different than the encounters too. So we use station, and we use his name. Blizzard, here. Blizzard. So that way Snowflake doesn't come over. So he'll hold in this station. Because he can't see, I can't use any kind of visual commands. Hold or station. He doesn't really. Just like any of the other animals, we work to his strong suit, so he doesn't ever stay still. One of the things with being blind is he's constantly scanning. So we tell him to station, so he's supposed to stay in this station. If we ask him to hold, he's not going to hold completely still. So we don't want to.
So basically, with the other crocodiles, you could say hold, and you could put your hand out or put a stick for them to touch. And obviously, like you said, he's blind, and that happens with a lot of albino animals.
Blizzard, station.
Quiet while he's doing it.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. I mean,
ready?
He's used to me talking, so.
All right. So with a lot of albino animals, like you said, he's probably pretty much. I mean, you can't even see the pupils. I'm guessing that he's probably like 95% blind.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. She looks to be about the same. I'm not sure. What do you think? Is she about the same?
Yeah, they're both pretty much blind. I've tried doing stuff to see if they see. I feel like they don't.
Probably not. So it happens a lot of times with albino animals. They just can't see, and it's just part of that trait. Albinism happens in humans too. Humans can see, but it does affect their vision to some extent, and then also sunlight. So you see, normally all of the other animals are placed in a big, heavy sunlight area because the crocodilians really need that.
Station.
For these guys, they have a little bit of sunlight here and there coming in, but they're a little bit more tucked in, and I'm assuming that's because they're albino.
Yeah, they'll get sunburned if they get too much. Yeah. So we heat the pool in the wintertime, it's heated. They have obviously the big heat bulbs, you know, the baths underneath. But yeah, they can't withstand more than about 45 minutes of direct sun.
Yeah, so it's not like a normal alligator where the sunlight is what's beneficial for them. For these guys, they got to keep it a little bit differently because, like you said, they can get sunburned, and that can turn into an infection. So as tough as the alligators are, because of the genetic mutation, they can have problems if they're in direct sunlight for long periods of time. So they build this beautiful black pond. Obviously it's the contrast for the animal. There's no specific reason for that other than the fact that it looks prettier and they're white, so it pops a little bit more. But if they were in direct sunlight all the time, you're gonna have that problem with the sunburn. Eventually there's gonna be an infection and eventually the animal's gonna pass. So that happens a lot with the albino animals. A lot of people keep albino animals, I can't even speak, holy shit.
I'm out of town.
A lot of the animals that people keep that are albino, they'll keep outside, and eventually what ends up happening is they do get like pink, and then they'll start to see some problems, some issues, and they don't realize it, and the animals end up passing, and generally speaking, it's because of the infection of the skin. But you see this guy's doing really, really well. He's still a big old alligator. He can still cause a lot of damage, but he's really sweet. And like he said, ladies and gentlemen, dude, you can come in here and do the encounter with, you can't do this. You're not gonna be able to do this here. They're not gonna let you come in here and scrub an alligator. But like he said, you can come over here, you can get him to station, you can get him to call, the whole 9 yards. So you're actually able to come in here and get face to face with an albino alligator at Wild Florida. Again, dudes, we're gonna put the links in the description for all these guys' Instagram. Check them out, they post all the time. And then on top of that, you guys can come here, we're gonna put the site up. You have to schedule your stuff. So if you wanna come here to do an encounter, go on the website, they have it blocked out. They have, you know, for the sloth, for the lemurs, for the alligators, any encounter that you want to do, you have to schedule that out. So go ahead and go to the website, block that out, so that you can plan that ahead of time. But definitely, if you're in Florida, #1 for me, #1 place to see. I always have the most fun over here. There's a bunch of good parks here. You guys see us at Gatorama. Gatorama's a great place, Wild Florida, but it's a lot of fun for me even, and I see this on a daily basis. So I enjoy coming to Wild Florida every time, not only because my homies are here, but we get to do a lot of cool stuff. And two, there's not many places where you can come and see the big albino alligators. I think we have like, oh man, there's like maybe 5, 6 places here in the state of Florida that you can see these guys. Florida's the only one where you can actually come inside and get close and get some pictures, really cool stuff, face-to-face stuff. All right, dudes. Check us out. Go to wildflorida.com, do all this. Actually, we're gonna put it up there. I'm not sure that that's the website, but we'll put it in the description. Let's say bye to little Snowflake over here and Mr. Blizzard. Thanks for hanging out, my dudes. We're gonna see you guys on the next one. Ooh, what's up, boy? What's up, big boy? Oh, yes. Oh. Look at these big pearly white teeth. Here, get a good shot. Get a good shot of those teeth first. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going?
700, 800 pounds, right?
I'm gonna say he's probably like 230, 330, somewhere around there.
Nah, bro. Dude, I need to work out.
That he picked up 500 pounds yesterday.
Oh, just
that's right.
500. I'm gonna say he's probably like, I'm gonna say 280, 330, somewhere around there.
Dude, he's definitely over 300 pounds. That's for sure. Because I couldn't get his tail out of the water, and he's
and you're like,
heavy.
dude, he's jacked. Look at him. Like, if you can do it, bro.
All right, so obviously, dudes, it's a great crew over here. You can have a lot of fun with these guys. You can do VIP tours, and you can meet these guys. They will take you around. They'll do the same stuff. They have the same personality here that you see on the film. They're not doing this just for the camera. This is how we hang out every time. So it's a fun place to be. Check them out. Thanks a lot, dudes. Comment, like, subscribe, share. I hate that I just said that. I want to kill myself. Boom.